Today, today we're in the afterglow of the celebration of Grandparents' Day, the day for grandparents and the elderly that was proclaimed by uh, Pope Francis, that would be celebrated on the fourth Sunday of every year from now on. Uh, I've had the rare opportunity to be in California the past few days at the Napa Institute, and it's a gathering of a lot of Catholic leaders, some archbishops and bishops and priests and nuns, and but mostly 90% are lay people. They're lay leaders that are really committed to the faith. And at this Napa Institute, it's in the Napa Valley in California. They have a lot of vineyards there, very good Cabernet Sauvignon wine and all of that. Someone had to go to represent us at this meeting, so it just fell to me. In any case, I'm still on that time zone. But because of travel restrictions, nursing home policies, and fear for their safety, many young people were prevented from visiting their loved ones and embracing their grandparents during the pandemic. Most of us, I think, were moved by pictures of so many elderly people longingly looking out of their windows at their sons and daughters, their children who are just beyond them and not able to come in and embrace them and share the joy of a meal, of Christmas and Easter celebrations. Pope Francis has encouraged grandchildren to visit their grandparents and the elderly. And many parishes are offering special masses and other liturgies, ways of thanking God for the gift of grandparents. We have some grandparents here. It's providential that this recognition of grandparents lands the day before the memorial of Jesus' grandparents, Anne and Joachim, which we celebrate today. In his message, the Pope summoned grandparents to recognize and to be renewed in their sacred calling to be guardians of the connection between their family's history and salvation history, and to pass on the faith to young people. Grandparents and seniors, he asks, what is our vocation today at our age? He's including himself, he's 84. It is to preserve our roots, to pass on the faith to the young, and to care for the little ones. He called grandparents and elders to be a living memory. Keeping memory alive and sharing it with others is a true mission for every elderly person. Memory is the foundation of life, he said, and grandparents have a key role in establishing their children, not only in strong family roots and stories, but also in the history of the faith. Grandparents are prophets who bring the wisdom and experience of the past to guide the present and the future. He says there's no retirement age from the work of proclaiming the gospel and handing down traditions to your grandchildren. Grandparents are the ultimate good guys who can lavish love and attention on their grandchildren, give them chocolate and ice cream, and then send them home to their parents, who have a very different role to play in educating and rearing their children. 3 of my brothers have grandchildren, and I like to call them patriarchs because they love watching their children grow as parents, and they delight in seeing their grandchildren grow up before their eyes. The future of the world and the church depends on the covenant of love between the young and the old. Young people never forget, you should never forget to celebrate your grandparents, your great aunts and uncles, to thank them, to spend time with them, and to pray with them and for them. And grandparents and elders, take this vocation seriously, to pass on the precious gift of the faith, and never, never, never think of retiring from being prophets and evangelists for the young. The message is never, grandparents, never retire from your task of passing on the faith.